Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you are. Guys, before I get into the video, guys, smash the like button on this video. I really need you guys to smash the like button. I really need you guys to share the video. So really smash the like button on this video, guys. As I've said to you guys before, it really helps the algorithm. So smash the like button, please. All of you that come onto this channel, whether you're new, whether you're old, one of my old subscribers, please smash the like button, please. So guys, getting into this video, Gilberto Ramirez says, after I beat Bivol, Canelo will have no choice but to fight me. Before I get into this article, like, all these guys chasing Canelo, like, come on. I would have preferred for him to say, after I beat Bivol, right, Beterbiev will have no choice but to fight me for undisputed. But instead he talks about Canelo. Ridiculous. Okay, so Canelo. Okay, so let's go there. What's this? Of course, why not? Why would I have to go do a step-aside deal if I already have my mandatory opportunity? The opportunity, the dream that I've been waiting for a long time. So that's Hearn, in my opinion, trying to stir the pot. I think Eddie Hearn knows that Gilberto Ramirez is going to be next. I think he's just stirring the pot and maybe trying to get Buatsi a fight. And I told you guys the reason why he's doing that, because he hasn't been able to deliver a big fight on DAZN, especially in the UK. But that might be changing now if Conor Benn and Chris Eubank are fighting. Maybe that will change the dynamic altogether. So he may not need this fight. I think the reason why he was trying to make this fight in the UK is because of the fact that I think he wanted to have a big fight, you know, and he wanted a big fight on DAZN. But now that might change the dynamic because Buatsi, he may be getting a Ben Eubank fight. But anyway, I think the more interesting fight will be Ramirez-Bivol. So he says, of course, okay, we've already gone through that. I'm sorry for Canelo, but that rematch with Bivol is not going to happen. Unless he wants to continue fighting Dmitry Bivol after I beat Bivol, Canelo will have no choice but to fight me. That fight with Bivol has to be done. He's already made himself known to the world by beating Canelo. If he doesn't want to, he'd look like a coward, which I don't think he is. I think he wants to fight. I think he wants to fight too. And if it's for the money, I think there's going to be good money as well. I know there's a little title on the line. And we're both going to do what we love, fight. And I know I'm going to come out on top in that fight. So Gilberto Ramirez giving his thoughts. Now, Gilberto Ramirez and Canelo Alvarez will be a massive fight because they're both Mexicans. This would be a huge, huge fight. And it'd make a lot more financial sense than Bivol. This would have always been a bigger fight. The only problem is I don't think Gilberto Ramirez is going to get past Bivol. I think Bivol will beat Ramirez pretty soundly. I don't think Ramirez is going to win that fight. So I think even though he's saying that Canelo will have no choice but to fight him, I think Bivol's going to beat him. So I don't see. But the point I'm trying to make is why is he chasing Canelo? Why don't he fight Beterbiev? You know? It feels to me like all these guys chase paydays. And look, I get it. I think it's all good. But at the end of the day, surely you'd want to create legacy and become undisputed. Surely you want to fight the best and fight the other best guy. Canelo's effectively not even at 175. His next fight's not even going to be at 175. The only reason I think the Bivol fight's going to happen is because obviously Canelo wants to avenge that loss. Canelo got beat by Dmitry Bivol, so he wants to avenge that loss. But Gilberto Ramirez saying that he wants that fight with Canelo if he beats Bivol, or Canelo will have no choice but to fight him. Yeah, I think for Canelo, it might work out well because then it will become about, is Canelo chasing the Bivol fight or is he chasing the belt? And it may be a case where he's chasing the belt. I actually think Canelo would beat Gilberto Ramirez pretty soundly. Whereas I don't think Canelo would beat Bivol. I think the Bivol fight's a lot more tougher. Personally, I think Canelo would want the Bivol fight anyway. Even if Gilberto Ramirez wins, I think he'll fight Ramirez. But then I think he'd want the Bivol fight because I think Canelo that'll eat away at him, especially if somebody beats Canelo in his prime, which Bivol did. I think that would eat away at Canelo more so than the Mayweather fight, which I don't think would eat away at him as much, because Canelo can always say, I wasn't in my prime when I fought Mayweather. Now Canelo's in his prime and Bivol beat him in his prime. So Canelo would want to right that wrong. Now, there's many people out there like Tony Bellew who are saying Canelo's going to beat him in the rematch, which I'll do a separate video about, maybe tomorrow or the day after. But for me, this is a much bigger fight. I think the Gilberto Ramirez fight stylistically is a great fight. I think the Bivol fight will be pretty boring, to be brutally honest with you. I don't think the Bivol fight with Canelo is that exciting. I think Bivol is stylistically a fight which he's never in very exciting fights. I don't think the fight was that exciting, to be brutally honest with you, the first time. I think, Bivol did what he had to do. He pretty controlled it on the outside. I thought he was pretty good. Bivol was really, really good. But Bivol's not a very exciting fighter. I think a Canelo-Beterbiev fight would be very exciting. And that would be a war. That would literally be a war. That would be a some fight. That would be some fight if Canelo was to fight Beterbiev. That would be a dangerous fight for Canelo as well, to say the least. Beterbiev's a beast. And ideally, whoever wins out of Bivol and Ramirez, I want to see fight Beterbiev. And then I wouldn't mind the winner of that fight fighting Canelo. That would be massive. And that would be an opportunity for Canelo to become undisputed at light heavyweight. Which I always wanted, to be honest. I wanted Bivol and Beterbiev to fight one another. Rather than Canelo having to go through Bivol and Beterbiev. Because I think that was always going to be a tough for him to do. I don't want to pick him against any of them. I wouldn't pick him against Beterbiev or Bivol now. But I think obviously having one fight and having to go two beasts like that is a lot easier, because Canelo can, I think Canelo's style, I think he'd do better against Beterbiev. Even though I don't think he'd beat Beterbiev, I just think stylistically it's a better fight for him, but it's a more dangerous fight, and it's a fight where he could get hurt as well. So I think the Beterbiev fight is a barn burner for the fans. I think it's an absolute war. I think the Ramirez fight is a good fight. I just don't think Ramirez is at that level. That's the problem. I think Canelo would beat him pretty soundly. Like a lot of people are high on Gilberto Ramirez. I'm not. I'm a bit like him same with Benavidez. A lot of people are high on these guys, but I'm not so high, to be honest. I've watched him fight. He's a bit robotic. He's a bit slow. I'm not convinced about Gilberto Ramirez, guys. I'm not convinced about this guy. Some of you guys are very high on him, but he's very robotic in his movement. He's very slow in his movements. I don't see this guy. I honestly don't see this guy beating Canelo or Bivol or Beterbiev. I don't see this guy being that successful at 175. Now, I might be wrong, but I don't see it. I think this guy's limited. I do. I think he beat Arthur Abraham for the title at 168 pounds. Arthur Abraham was an old man, was really old, and wasn't exactly a great fighter even in his prime. He was a decent fighter in his prime. But yeah, I genuinely don't think that this guy's all that. I think his resume is not the greatest. And I think it's not just the resume, it's the eye test. When I saw him fight, or when I've seen him fight, he's not really impressed me. You could say the same about Bivol, but Bivol just looks a lot more technically more sound, just looks much better. Even though he didn't look great and he didn't set the world alight in the Craig Richards fight and the fights that he had previous. And that's why a lot of people thought that he wouldn't beat Canelo, because he just looked so poor. He didn't look that great. But technically, Bivol looked very good. He just didn't set the world on fire, probably because of his style. His style is of such where he doesn't look great. But it doesn't matter who he gets in the ring with. He's very technically sound. He's got great feet. He's got fast hands. He's always going to cause you problems. But he's a very technically sound fighter. Gilberto Ramirez seems a bit robotic to me and seems very slow on the other hand. He doesn't look as technically as sound as Bivol. And the eye test suggests to me that when he comes up against an elite fighter, this man's going to struggle. But again, until he gets in there, we ain't going to know. And that's the question. That's the question I have with Benavidez. That's the question I have with a lot of these guys. I don't know if any of these guys are elite, I don't know. So the only way we'll find out is like we did with Bivol. Get in there and let's see how he performs. That's when we're gonna find out how good these guys are. So yeah, let's see what happens with this situation. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. Make sure you smash the like button, share the video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.